Welcome to Science, Health and Healing Library of Children's Health Core. I'm Dr. Majid. The subject of this article is the M2 syndrome. Today is May 14th, 2012. Those of you who have been looking at my recent additions to this encyclopedia know that I have been very busy inventing new diseases. In fact, I am actually sometimes surprised at my mind's ability to invent diseases at speeds which are truly frightening. So let me tell you what this newest addition to my invented diseases is, the M2 syndrome. M2 stands for me, and of course the full name would be then the me and me syndrome. I tell you how it happened. When my wife and I, we were sitting in the restaurants of Marriott in New York City on the Broadway, and we had a little time before we were going to go into a play. And so we just sat there for about an hour or so, looking down at the wonderful traffic in the Times Square. I noticed when we found a table by the window that next to us there was this very smart, very good-looking boy, maybe 7 or 8 years, just about the age of one of our grandsons. And he had, of course, a device in his hand, some sort of a smartphone. And his father, who looked like he was pretty well off, and he had his own device. After about a few minutes, I became curious, so I looked at, and of course they were both busy. The boy was busy with his me machine, and the father was busy with his me machine. 10 minutes later, I had kept a peripheral vision on the couple because they were just sitting next to us. And I became curious. I said, let's see how long can this father and son couple not talk to each other, just stay in the me and me state. The father in his me state and the son in his me state. Well, it went on, and then it grew into more and more time. So by the time we left, it was almost an hour later, and quite amazingly, there was not one single word exchanged between the father and the son, nor, as much as I could witness with my peripheral vision, were any glances exchanged between the father and son. And so this problem, this new disease name came to my mind, just a brand new invention, the M2 syndrome. Oh, there is one other one that you might want to look in this series, and that's called the L2T2 syndrome, little of this, little of that syndrome. And then there is, in that also, there is an article on N2D2 medicine, which is a term that I invented about 20 years plus ago. I think when I was writing my book, The Butterfly and Lifespan Nutrition, back in 1990s, early 1990s. And that was N2D2 medicine was name the disease, name the drug. Name the disease, name the drug, N2D2 medicine. Because in this medicine, we have really no interest in looking at our environments, our foods, what populates our mind, what populates our fermenting guts, what populates our fermenting waters, fermenting oceans. And so it was very simple. You got some tests done based on that, or x-rays or pathology report, and you got a diagnosis, and then you went over to PDR, you found a drug, and you were done with. So I started thinking about what would the future be in the next 10, 15 years if our intelligent, young, boys and men, stopped talking to their parents, stopped even exchanging some glances, and they were both in the me state. The parents are in the me state with their smart cell phone. The children are in their me state with their smart cell phones. Of course, the cell phone companies, I suppose, are quite happy with this arrangement. We need to have a body of water to swim in. If you want to swim, we have to have a body of water. If you want to think for yourself, you have to have a body of your individual thinking. If you want to experience life, you have to have a body of your own personal experiences. If you want to reflect on what you observe in the nature, you have to have a body of your own reflections which gives you the context, the larger perspective within which you can see this. In another video segment, I related that I made a mistake of asking two senior doctors on our staff in the presence of a patient what they thought was a better snack, blueberries alone or blueberries with cottage cheese, toast alone or toast with eggs, cheesecake alone or cheesecake or apple pie as a dessert. I wanted to underscore the importance of the rate of release of insulin. And I realized my folly because none of them gave me the right answer. And I said, oh my God. The rate of release of insulin, which is really a crucial aspect in this epidemic of type 2 diabetes in children and epidemic of type 2 diabetes in adults, which is going to become a pandemic. We are all caught up in our own little worlds. Now, these were senior doctors. What would happen to 10 years from now, these 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, whose entire worldview is limited to that tiny little screen on their cell phone? And of course, the father and the son are living in their parallel universes. The me state, the me too syndrome. I'm going to leave this to your imagination. What can we foresee? Their foods are toxic, their air is toxic, they are breathing polluted air, they are being drugged for discipline at school. Unfortunately, the parents are also being drugged for anxiety, sleep problems, mood problems. They are being antibioticized because of this H. pylori nonsense in the stomach. It just goes on and on and on. So I'm going to leave this to your imagination. I'm going to suggest that you also look at a segment. Someone who was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, I came across some words. The words were, on the Earth Day, is the Earth happy? Please watch that program. That's the title of a segment on this encyclopedia. On the Earth Day, is the Earth happy? So think about the relevance of the Me Too syndrome in our culture. Unfortunately, as America goes, so does the rest of the world. At least they try to do that. Just a little food for thought. I thought I'll share with you my brand new invention of a disease. Our vision at Children's Health Corps is to provide authentic information untainted by corporate deceptions and these fear profiteers. You can, if you share our vision, support us by forwarding this YouTube segment to your email, Facebook, Twitter contacts. Should you wish to support more, please visit our website, www.kids123.org, kids123.org. I have a large number of articles. I'm a biologist, I'm a pathologist, I'm a student of molecular biology of oxygen. So when I write about autism or ADHD or OCD or post-traumatic stress syndrome, I'm looking at these problems through the prism of oxygen homeostasis. You might find that perspective interesting and I hope useful. Until we meet again, may you be gracious, graceful, and generous in your spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you.